Hello and welcome. Today we got this Trek Multitrack 700. Going to be doing a tune-up, or what you might call a refresh. The owner of this bike sort of just used to ride around the neighborhood with his children growing up, so it has some sentimental value. So we're going to try to keep everything looking as close to original as possible. We will be changing out some tires, putting some new tubes in. We'll put a new chain on, maybe switch this saddle out, and see what else we can do to try to get this thing back up in tip-top shape. Okay, so we got this old tire. Sort of see these sidewalls are just deteriorating, so we're gonna go ahead and replace them. We got a new tire over here. Gonna go slightly larger tire. Gonna be a little bit more comfortable on the road. Okay, so once you got your tire off, just inspect the wheel real quick. Make sure your rim strip, that black piece in here, is still good. They do deteriorate over time, but this one looks to be in relatively good condition, so we're good to go. If yours is not in good condition and you don't have a rim strip, you can substitute Gorilla tape or some sort of duct tape or something like that as a last resort. But remember, trying to remove that in the future may be problematic if you need to replace a spoke. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we got a Bontrager H2 hard case ultimate. Now I went with this because it's going to have a little better puncture protection, and also I like having the reflective sidewall here. Great for in and around Florida during those dawn and dusk hours. This way cars can see it while you're on the road. Always inflate your tube a little bit. Alrighty, so after you get your tire on and it's inflated, make sure it's nice and straight. You don't have any wobbles or anything like that. This way you know the bead is completely on the rim. Now we got our tire on, let's head over to the truing stand and we'll do some more work. This rim looks like it's seen some better days, so we'll take some simple green, a rag, and clean it up real quick. All right, so we got a little section that needs to be addressed. Let's tackle that. Loosen, tighten. All right, nice. Got our simple green here, and let's just spray it. And we're doing this because this is a Freewheel, and because it's a Freewheel, inside here are bearings. So if we were to take this Freewheel off and try to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner over here, well, it would ruin and destroy those bearings. So we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is clean it on the wheel and try to remove as much of this grease and grime as we can. Now, let's take our rag and we'll start flossing. All right, look at her sparkle. Okay, let's pop this chain off here. There's no quick link in this one, so we have to crack it. All right, next let's grab this rear derailleur. Alrighty, this thing's dirty. These parts will shine after we get done with the ultrasonic cleaning. So, all right, let's tackle the crank arms next. Pop this off. And then on this one, Some of them are 8 mils. This one happens to be a 14-inch socket, so we'll grab that and crack this. Next, you're going to want to grab your crank removal tool, and as you're threading this in, just make sure it's properly seated. Oh, there it goes. Alrighty. Still a little stuck. Hey, bud. What's going on, buddy, huh? What are you doing? This is Apollo. Always inspecting. Don't touch that. You good? All right, thank you. There we go. Whew. Thing was on there good. All right, so we got our cranks off. We got our derailleurs. Let's toss these in the ultrasonic cleaner. Set it and forget it. Okay, so let's tackle this bottom bracket while we have everything off. This is sounding pretty rough and it's not spinning as freely as I would like. So we'll take it out, inspect it, see what's going on. So this doesn't have sealed cartridge bearings, it's just got cage bearings. These actually look pretty good, so we'll just go and clean them out a little bit and throw some new lube in there, see what the other side looks like as well. So just let's do the rest of the way. There you go. Alrighty, look at that. Alright, so I was having a little bit of an issue with this spindle. The problem is this little screw right here. So once we sit here, loosen this up a little bit, then we can pull this all the way out, no problem. Okay, so we got our bearings, we got our spindle. Let's clean these up a little bit. For this one, pops out nice and easy. Just put that off to the side for now. And then on the non-drive side, we have just a little gasket. It's sort of holding everything in. So I'll make sure you remember which way these are going, so you're not guessing. So just put that off to the side. Drive side, non-drive side. And that pops out nice and easy. So, all right, there we go, perfect. Let's start cleaning. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit this rag with some simple green. And these are actually in pretty decent condition. So we'll just sit here and sort of rub them out. Try to clean all those bearings up as good as possible. Nice. Yeah, I can already feel them moving so much easier now. All that old grease just sort of gets hardened over time and prevents them from moving freely. So much better now. And while we're at it, we'll just clean these cups as well. Hit this with some simple green. While you're at it too, might as well clean these threads. So if your threads don't look good, now's a good time to sit here, take a rag, and try to get all that old grease off as well. If you have a little bit of rust, take a wire brush. You can just sort of clean those threads up before you put it back in. Okay, so I just got some Polylube 1000. Park Tool makes this. This stuff's great. You know, and for an old bottom bracket like this, this is going to be perfect. So, all right. Make sure we're putting that back in the right way. And while we have these out, let's clean the frame up real quick. That needs to be detailed, so let's get to it. All right, so this frame's not terrible. So I think we can tackle most of this stuff with just some simple green and a rag. And look at that, it's already coming off. Let's get these rusted cables off. These things are horrible. Housings are actually in pretty good shape. Now, if you're ever wondering if your housing is good, if it's flexible, that's a good sign. And then also, as you can see underneath here, it's not rusted. So if it looks like this, you might want to replace everything. But pretty sure these housings are good, so we'll just reuse them. All right, so while I was getting all that grime off, I did notice these bolts and they're pretty rusted. So I'm gonna take them off and see if maybe we can't save them, throw them in a rust bath. Bombs away! So I have this rubbing compound that I'm gonna start off with, and then afterwards we're gonna hit it with this polymer polish to finish it up. That should leave a nice gloss and a great protective layer. So let's get to it. You hear that? Squeaky clean. All right, so we got done with the paint. Frame's looking great, feels silky smooth. Next, I'm gonna grab some Never Dull and we're gonna hit these brake calipers and see if we can't get these to shine again. So the brake calipers turned out awesome. I'm gonna attack the stem and the handlebars and see if we can't get some of the same results. So the bolts I took out of the frame earlier turned out great from being in the rust bath. So we're gonna go ahead and take these bolts out next and throw them in there and see if we can't shine these up as well. There we go. Okay, so just gonna clean up these threads. This way we can pop that bottom bracket back in. Now on this side, it's going to be reverse threaded. So the bolts turned out great. Let's reinstall it. All right, so let's get this thing looking like a bike again. Time to reassemble some parts. Now, in order to check the height on your derailleur, what you can do, grab a 3mm and just want to make sure you have some clearance in here. That's just about perfect. Okay, so in order to change the cable, it's in this little box here. So we got to remove the screw. Once you get your screw out, what you want to do is just turn this up. This pops right off. Put this in a safe place. Take our housing off. So you want to grab a pick or something you can use to sort of pick at this little head here and just pull it out like that. Okay, so this brake is rubbing pretty bad on this side. Now, essentially, you want to get those nice and even on both sides. Ideally, if it's rubbing on one side versus the other, You want to tighten and then loosen this side. See down in here, there's still a nice gap. So you want to have this even versus over here where there's not a whole lot of space. So let's loosen this a little bit. Do about a quarter or a half turn. And then we will tighten this half turn. Hit your brakes. Check your spacing. Don't hear any revving. All good. Ooh, it's gonna be a little short. I was able to grab some chain from work. Let's install the new links. So the only difference between this and our previous chain is this is going to have 2 master links in it now, which is perfectly fine. It's not going to affect shifting or anything like that. So in case you're wondering, it just looks a little different. All right, there we go. Now let's measure it, make sure everything's good. I have it in small to small right now. And so we'll just pull this in until we start to see the derailleur not touch the back. And I think that's going to be good right there. So about 4 links from the master link. You want to make sure you're getting an inner too when you're breaking these links and not an outer, unless you're using a pin, which most chains nowadays will come with master links, but some don't. So just keep an eye out for that. Alrighty, perfect. Here we have one of Shimano's rapid rise derailleurs. You don't see too many of these anymore, mainly because everything's backwards, at least the spring tension. So the spring starts off in your biggest cog here and then will work its way down versus your typical derailleur. But anyway, you still set it up the same way. So you're going to sit here, apply your cable, make sure it's nice and tight, and there's not too much slack, and then you will adjust it the same way as a normal derailleur. So when it comes to dialing in your shifting, you want to sit here, have a click, and it's sort of hesitating here, so we'll back it out half a turn, another half, and just keep doing this until it actually falls. So all we're doing is applying tension. There we go. Give it another quarter turn. Let's go back up. Oops, wrong direction. There we go. Good. It's hesitating a little bit here, and that's okay. Give it another maybe half a turn. One more time, just to double check. All right, that seems to be working pretty well. Okay, so as for saddles, I typically like to just get them sort of snug at first, and then we'll sit here and pop this on the ground and make sure it's nice and level. Here we have it, the Trek Multitrack 700. Hope you guys enjoyed this build. I know I did. I can't wait to get this back to the original owner. I know he's been longing for it for quite some time. She's just been sitting around collecting dust, so I'm sure he can't wait to go out and ride it and bring back some of those fond memories of him and his children riding around the neighborhood. My name is Mike. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Stay rooted.